Hello to all my favorite third graders. Coming back at you with some more multiplication. This is Mrs. Pickett. We are going to talk a little bit more about multiplication, but we're going to spend some time looking at the distributive property. This is going to be a property of multiplication that's going to make a really hard problem feel super easy. I think that the distributive property is really fun because it makes me feel super smart, because I can take a really hard problem and I can figure out the answer using what I know already about multiplication. So let's do an example together. My problem is going to be 6 times 42. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. 6 times 42, Mrs. Pickett, this is the hardest problem ever. I don't know how to solve it. I can't do it. Well, yes, you can, because remember, we don't use can't in our classroom. So what you want to do first is think about the expanded notation. Expanded notation, if you remember from place value, is where you take a number and you pull it apart into its place values. So if I was going to pull 42 apart, it would be 40 and 2. So now all we're doing is we're multiplying 6 times 40 and 6 times 2. We've broken that whole problem down. Now again, you're probably thinking, well, Mrs. Pickett, 6 times 40 is still hard. All you need to do is cover up your 0. When you cover up that 0, all you have now is 6 times 4. Now you can use a multiplication strategy, equal groups, an array, repeated addition, or your number line, and you can figure out what 6 times 4 is. 6 times 4 is 24. So you're going to write 24, and then don't forget, you need to move your hand and bring your 0 back. So you have 240. Now, 6 times 2 hopefully feels pretty easy. We know that 6 groups of 2 is 12. So now all we have to do with those two problems, is we're going to add them together. So that's going to give us 6 groups of 42 is equal to 252. So you just took a really hard problem and made it super easy. Let's do another one together. This time I have 5 groups of 36. Remember, your first step, break your number apart. 30 and 6. Second step, rewrite your multiplication problem. So now I have 5 groups of 30 and 5 groups of 6. Now solve. Cover up your 0 and your 30. 5 groups of 3, 15. Don't forget to bring that 0 back. And then 5 groups of 6. Remember to use a strategy if you're not sure. Is 30. Your final step to this problem is you're going to combine your numbers again. So you get 5 groups of 36 equals 180. So 5 groups of 36 is 180. See? So this is a great way to make a hard problem feel super easy. So here I've listed out the steps for you one more time. First, use expanded form for your 2 or 3 or 4-digit number, whatever you might have. Rewrite your multiplication problem, solve, making sure you cover up your 0, and then combine the two products to get your final answer. I'm going to do one more problem for you, and then I'm going to leave 2 problems for you to try by yourself. Now, this is a harder skill for us as third graders, so if you're not getting it right away, it's okay, and we're going to keep working on this in class. So let's do one more together. We're going to do 3 times 87. So, step 1, Hopefully you said use expanded form. So we get 80 and 7. Step 2, rewrite your multiplication problems. 3 times 80 and 3 times 7. Don't forget to cover up your 0, and then you're going to use a multiplication strategy to figure out what 3 times 8 is. 3 times 8 is 24. And don't forget to add that 0 back. And then you're going to look at 3 groups of 7. 3 groups of 7, remember to use a strategy if you're not sure. 3 groups of 7 is 21. And then your final step is you're going to combine all of that back together. So you're going to have 3 groups of 87 is equal to 261. So your product is going to be 261. Okay, so now I've given you 3 problems I'd like for you to try on your own. Remember, if you forget your steps, rewind your video, and there's going to be that page that's going to show you your step-by-step. And then in class, actually, I'm going to pause the video, and then I'll give you your answers. So go ahead and write these 3 problems down, pause, solve, and then play to get your answers. All right, good luck. All right, guys, there you have it. Go ahead and check those answers. And like I said at the beginning, this is something that is a challenge. It's a harder kind of multiplication problem. However, we're going to practice this quite a bit at school. So if you're still struggling, no big deal. You can always rewatch the video, but we will work in small groups in class tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching. All right, your joke for today is, what did the cat say when it lost all its money? Have a great night.